Okay, so if you look at this particular question, you need to pick out the observation, because the observation tells you certain clues. Then pick out the key reagent that will tell you what you're actually testing for. Then after that, you can actually solve this question. Alright? Okay, so if you look at this part of the flow chart first, when your damp red litmus paper turns blue, what does it tell you about the solution? Acidic? Alkaline. Okay, so this tells you that your solution is alkaline. If this is an alkaline solution, what is the ion that must be present? OH minus. Okay, so you link it back. Your G must contain OH minus. Okay, so you only solve one part. You still need to know what is the positive ion. Okay, then if you move on to your box on the right, over here you are told that your litmus paper, in this case, which is damp blue litmus paper, it turns red. So what you can conclude over here, this will be a acidic solution. What is the ions present in acidic solution? H plus ion. Okay, so again over here, you identify the positive ion, you know that you have your H plus ion. Okay, so you will not able to figure out what is the positive ion, okay, for the solution G, and what is the negative ion for solution H. So the answers will be from the next part of the flow chart. Okay, so you realize that you have an alkaline solution mixing with acidic solution, so you end up forming a salt. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to identify what is this simple salt form, because from the salt form you are able to figure out what is actually the positive ion for G and what is the negative ion for H. Alright, so you move down to the next part of the flow chart. Okay, when you see that you are adding your warm aqueous sodium hydroxide, okay, and the observation given to you is that you have a gas that turns your damp red litmus paper blue. What is this gas you're looking at? Ammonia gas. Okay, if you have ammonia gas produced when you added your sodium hydroxide, what are you testing for? Flip through your notes. Okay, so I want to ask you first, sodium hydroxide is testing for anion or cation? Cation or anion? Cation. Which cation will produce an ammonia gas when you warm it after adding your sodium hydroxide? Ammonium ion. Okay, so this actually tells you that this is your test for cation, okay, which is your positive ions. Then you need to take note, if you have ammonia gas produced when you added your warm aqueous sodium hydroxide, it tells you that you have your ammonium ion present. Okay, so this is what you can gather from here. Can? Okay, question. So this simple salt here, right? If you split it into half, if you know that you have ammonium ion present over here, okay, in the salt solution, so you already identify this, the ammonium ion must come from here. Okay, so you have your NH4 plus identified first. Okay? Okay, then next, your K. What is the key reagent in your K? No, this one. Which is the key reagent you pick out here? There's two of them. Which is the more important one? Barium nitrate. Okay, what is barium nitrate testing for? Test for? Test for sulfate. Okay, so this is a test for sulfate. So if you added your dilute nitric acid and then followed by your aqueous barium nitrate and you get a white PPT, it tells you that you have the presence of sulfate ion. So what is this PPT that is formed? What is this K that you are forming? Barium sulfate. Okay, so this is your barium sulfate. Okay, so this sulfate ion must come from your J. Okay, which means over here I already have identified what is my salt J. When your ammonium ion combined with your sulfate ion, what is the name of the salt form? Ammonium sulfate. Okay, so I write down the chemical formula first. Okay, up to this point, anyone lost? You look at your worksheet 1, the test for cation, the last test there. Yeah, so if you add aqueous sodium hydroxide and you warm it, then you produce a gas. Out of the whole list of cation tests, there's only one that will produce a gas when you warm it after adding your sodium hydroxide. That is ammonium gas. Yeah, that is this gas. So your ammonia gas produced, right, must come from ammonium ion. Can you see that? Okay, so this is how you arrive at the ammonium ion. Okay, and the rest, any other question? Okay, now, so once you figure out what is your salt J, right, you can actually link it back to the earlier part of the flow chart. Okay, your simple salt J is actually made when your acid reacted with your alkali. So the positive ion you figure out here is ammonium. This ammonium ion must come from either one of the solution here. Okay, so earlier we were trying to figure out what's the positive ion for G, what's the negative ion for H. Okay, so these two ions will just go to the respective solution here. Okay, so meaning your G, the positive ion is ammonium ion. For your H, the negative ion is your sulfate. Question? Okay, so remember the name of the salt will actually give you information what is the acid and alkali you use for a complete reaction. Okay, before you move on, right? I think this part quite straightforward. H plus and SO4 2 minus combined together, what do you get? What's the name of this acid? Dilute sulfuric acid. Okay, so H2SO4. But what about the one over here? I already said ammonium hydroxide doesn't exist, right? What do you name it as? You cannot combine them together and tell me it's ammonium hydroxide because ammonium hydroxide is not a stable compound. No, you look at your worksheet 2. In worksheet number 2, you test for cation using aqueous ammonia. Okay, so NH4 plus ion and OH minus is what you combine them together and you term it as ammonium hydroxide. But ammonium hydroxide is not a stable compound. So usually you name this as aqueous ammonia. Okay? Okay, so you just take note. You write NH3, you write NH4, you write NH3 plus H2O when you're constructing the chemical equation. If you're not constructing the chemical equation, then you just term it as aqueous ammonia. Okay? Okay, so with this, you solve all the unknown in this flow chart. Then let's look at the answers that you need to fill up in your part A. Okay, part A, take note, you are supposed to be naming it. Okay, so take note, you are supposed to be naming this. So you cannot write down the chemical formula. Okay, so you name them accordingly. So your L, which we identified earlier, is ammonia gas. Please write in the word gas. Okay, then the K that we identify is barium sulfate. Alright, okay, then after that the J that we identify is ammonium sulfate. Your H, you call it the dilute sulfuric acid. Then the last one is aqueous ammonia. Do not write in ammonium hydroxide. Okay, so please take note. I need to see these terms very clearly written in your answers. Okay? Okay, go back to the flow chart. Number of the equations that you're going to write. Okay, number of, please number of. So over here, I'll have my reaction number 1. Okay, where your H combined with your G. This will be my reaction number 1. Okay, then my reaction number 2 will be when my salt, okay, reacted with my warm sodium hydroxide. Then my reaction number 3 is when my salt reacted with my barium nitrate. So there's only 3 equations you can write for this particular flow chart. Okay, so again, you are given a choice to write equation for any of the reaction. I will tell you the easier one to write is actually the second and the third equation. The first one you may make mistake because of the way you have to write your aqueous ammonia representation. Okay, but I'm just going to list down all the 3 equations for you. Okay, number off already? Okay, so part B, you write your answer on page 5, okay? I'm just going to write it here. Please copy down all 3 because you don't know what they're going to ask you to write. So for equation number 1, it will be written in this format. I'm just writing the state symbol. In case they ask you for the state symbol, you should be able to write it down as well. Okay, the one that is being boxed up are the product that is formed and the one that you have identified earlier in the flow chart. This is your J, this is your L, this is your K. Okay, then this is your G, this is your H. Question? Okay, if you are wondering, right, how come there's no water for this particular reaction? Remember, you write down aqueous ammonia as NH3 plus H2O. So your end product for neutralization also end up with a H2O. If you have H2O on both sides of the equation, what will you do? Cancel out. That's why the H2O doesn't appear here. How do I end up with NH4? Okay, let me just write it down over here. Okay, so if you look at this particular equation, your aqueous ammonia plus your dilute sulfuric acid so by right you should be writing down NH3AQ plus H2O for ammonia. Then you plus your sulfuric acid. Okay, so with this you probably know that your salt is going to be NH4 bracket 2SO4 then plus H2O. Okay, let me show you how is it like until I transform into the final one. Okay, so remember I mentioned before, your NH3 and H2O, if you actually split them into ions, right, you end up with NH4 plus and OH minus ion. Okay, so remember you have a 2 in front, because you have 2 NH3 plus H2O. Then your sulfuric acid will give you H plus ion. Okay, you have two of them, and then your sulfate ion. So what happens is during the formation of the salt, you will always take the negative ion of the acid. Okay, you always take the negative ion of the acid combined with the positive ion from the alkali. So if you have your NH4 plus combining with your sulfate, then you realize that you are able to form this particular salt. Can? Okay. Then next thing you need to take note. Can you see that you got water here? And then you got water here. You have the same amount of water on both sides of the equation. So these two eventually will be cancelled out. That's how you end up with the final equation. Okay? Question?